The rain was relentless that night. It pounded the streets like tiny fists, drenching everything in its path. But amid the roar of thunder and the blur of headlights, Michael Turner, one of the city's most successful entrepreneurs, a man known more for his wealth than his warmth, noticed something unusual. At the edge of a deserted park bench sat a girl. She couldn't have been more than 14. Her clothes were soaked through, her hair clung to her face, and her crutches lay crooked beside her. She was crying, not the quiet kind of crying, but the kind that shakes your whole body. Michael pulled his car over without a second thought. He had no idea why. After all, he wasn't the type to stop. He was a single father, busy, guarded, and often accused of being cold. But something about the sight of that girl hit him harder than he expected. He stepped out into the storm and knelt beside her. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you okay?" Through trembling lips she whispered, "Everyone left me, nobody wants me." Her words cut deeper than the rain ever could. Michael glanced back at his car where his 6-year-old daughter, Emma, was watching curiously. He thought of the nights Emma had cried after her mother walked out. Nights when he promised her she would never be alone. "Come with me," he said softly, holding out his hand. "You don't have to stay here." The girl hesitated, but something in his voice, steady, warm, almost fatherly, made her trust him. Slowly, she took his hand. At his home, Michael's staff was startled. Their boss never brought strangers into his carefully guarded world, yet he guided the girl inside as if she already belonged. Emma immediately ran up and handed the girl a blanket, her small voice saying, "Don't cry. Daddy makes the best hot chocolate." For the first time that night, the girl smiled faintly. Her name was Lily. She had been abandoned by her foster family because caring for a child with a disability was too much work. She had nowhere to go. Michael's chest tightened. All his life, he had believed money could solve problems. But here was a child whose wounds no fortune could erase. The days that followed changed everything. Michael found himself sitting at the dinner table listening to Emma and Lily giggle as if they'd known each other forever. He saw Lily's determination when she struggled with her crutches but refused to let it stop her. And he saw Emma, his shy, lonely daughter, bloom with a sister she never had. But one night as he tucked them both into bed, Lily looked up with teary eyes. "Why are you helping me? People usually look away when they see me." Michael swallowed hard. "Because once I thought I had everything. Money, success, a big house. But then I realized I had nothing without love, without family. Maybe we found each other because we both needed the same thing." Lily reached for his hand. And in that simple moment, Michael realized something he had never admitted aloud. Kindness doesn't just change others, it saves you too. 2 months later, Lily's adoption papers were signed. The girl who had once wept in the rain was now running, wobbly but determined, through the Turner garden, laughing with Emma. Michael stood watching them, the late sun glowing behind them. He thought of that night in the storm. If he hadn't stopped, if he had let fear or pride hold him back, he would have missed this miracle. He whispered to himself, sometimes, the greatest fortune isn't found in what you earn, but in who you choose to love. And in that moment, a man once defined by wealth became defined by something far greater, humanity. At first, he worried Lily would struggle to adjust. After all, she'd been through so much heartbreak. But she surprised him. She helped Emma with her homework, sang along to the radio in the kitchen, and even insisted on setting the dinner table despite her crutches. Yet, there were nights when Michael would hear her crying softly. One evening, he gently knocked on her door. Inside, Lily sat curled on her bed, clutching a worn stuffed bunny. "I don't want to be a burden," she whispered. "You're doing too much for me." Michael's heart ached. He sat beside her. "Lily, listen to me," he said firmly but tenderly. "Family is never a burden. When I brought you home that night, I didn't rescue you. You rescued me too. You made me a better father, a better man." Her tears turned into a shaky smile. For the first time, she believed those words. But the real test came weeks later. The school called. Lily had been teased by classmates who mocked her crutches, calling her broken. When Michael heard, his chest burned with anger. He wanted to storm down to the school and demand punishment. But Lily stopped him. "Don't be mad, Daddy," she said, her voice steady. "They don't know what it's like. I'll show them I'm more than my crutches." And she did. At the school's talent show, Lily surprised everyone by wheeling herself onto the stage. then standing slowly on her crutches. With a trembling voice that grew stronger with each word, she sang a song about hope, about never giving up, about finding family in the most unexpected places. The audience was silent. Then a wave of applause shook the room. Emma rushed onto the stage and hugged her sister tightly. Even the kids who had teased her stood, clapping with wide eyes. From the back of the auditorium, Michael wiped away a tear. He had never been prouder. That night, as the three of them drove home, Emma leaned her head against Lily's shoulder. "You're my hero," she whispered. Lily smiled, looking out the window at the city lights. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel abandoned. She felt chosen. And Michael, he glanced at his daughters in the rearview mirror, his heart full. He thought of the lonely man he once was, defined by money and power. That man no longer existed.